tempo. Yeah. Mr. Wiggly, I acoustic, yo. Hey, step inside, I give thanks and the highest praise. Ground myself to my earth, connect out the space.
Hello and welcome. It's number 8 in our what's turning out to be quite a regular Sunday live stream broadcast every 7 p.m. UK time with myself, Mr. Wiggly, and I am joined. We've promoted my wonderful assistant to her own microphone and her own seat. We have Loullamae live in the studio, ready for the quiz.
Hello.
Hello. So she'll be doing the quiz later, and she'll also be chiming in every now and then with Loullamae style stuff. We basically worked out that kind of everyone listened to me and was quite interested, but as soon as Loullamae came on, everything exploded, and then they all left afterwards. So it's just going to turn into the Loullamae show from now on. However, having said that, I have a wonderful guest this evening. I have Suzanne Aston, who is behind Synths By The Sea in Western Australia in Busselton, which is a synth-based festival, I guess is the best words, which she's been trying to put together. It's been knocked back a bit by COVID, but she is a fascinating person who I came across on the Discord channel, the Mr. Wiggly Discord channel, which I can heartily recommend. If you go to mrwiggly.co.uk/Discord, there's a link there that will take you there. And we just got chatting, and she very, very wonderfully sent a beautiful we can't tell you what it is, but a beautiful present to Loullamae. And we got chatted about synths and stuff, and she's an incredibly fascinating person, really. So, ladies and gentlemen, can I introduce to you all Suzanne Aston? Welcome. Whoops, and I have to press this button after that wonderful introduction. There you go. Let's kill that music.
Thank you.
No worries at all. You're very welcome here. Tell us all about that amazing kit that I can see behind you.
So this is accumulated over quite a few years. I've got a Waldorf Quantum. I think that's probably the one you can see this time.
Yep.
And there's a Cobalt above that, which is really, really nice. I haven't had that very long. And then behind me there's a Prophet 12 and OB6 Sub 37, which was the first synth of this era that I bought, if you like.
Wowzers. Well, that looks great.
And on the wall you can't see there's a Moog Voyager XL.
How long have you had that?
7 years, something like that. Yes, long time.
Wow. Wow. You can push your mic up a little bit, I think, or just get a bit closer, or talk a bit louder. Just a bit louder from your voice is better. Yes, very, very much better. Thank you very much indeed. Hello to everyone in the chat. There's already a bunch of people, which is fantastic. Martin Taylor was first in. Welcome, and Native VS. Apologies if I don't say everything, if I don't mention you all. Keith in Watford, Sonic Link, Mr. Wiggly, who's he? Azio Head, as always, fantastic, lovely to see you. Sasquatch is in there. Thorsten, hello, Thorsten Tobias Hines, very well. You're very, very welcome. Is a good friend of mine from Facebook. And Inky is in charge of everything, as always. Keeping the chatters. Well, to be honest, I don't think there's anyone that's ever kind of crossed the line in the chat yet. But Inky is there, so be nice to her as our moderator, and she rules with an iron inky fist. So be careful of that one. And Martin Taylor's in there, and Steve Elbows, and a whole bunch of people. Jen, hello, Jen S. She's there. Thank you very much for joining us. Sasquatch, Andrew Brooks, my word. Thank you so much. I'm really honoured to have you all in the chat. So hello from Loullamae and myself, and from Suzanne. I guess it's worthwhile just rewinding because I know you are kind of mad on synths. You've had a background in industry in the broadest sense of the word, I think, in I think the computing industry and various things with very huge kind of high profile projects and stuff, and quite an interesting history, including I think being run over by a bus. You mentioned pretty much just as we were testing.
Knocked over, not run over.
Do you want to give us a potted history of what brought you here, I suppose? Would that be okay?
If you like. So, look, I'm 55 years old. I started life in a small mining village in the north of Yorkshire called Armthorpe in the sort of late 60s, early 70s. That's really where my musical background started, because as soon as I was able to walk, they thrust an instrument in my hand, which was a tenor horn, and off you go. The brass band is is a big part of the community over there. And so that's really where my music started. And we also had a rather ancient upright piano at home, which was never tuned. And even when it was tuned, it was still out of tune because it was so old.
Can you speak up just, sorry to judge, speak up just a tiny bit.
I'll move a little bit closer.
It's so easy. Yeah, lovely. It's so easy to kind of slip down in volume when you're just reminiscing. But
and I, I used to spend ages sat at that piano bashing out orchestral manoeuvres in the dark and craft work, all those things. It didn't matter how long I held down the sustain pedal. It was never like reverb or anything like that. So yeah, and then from there, wind forward quite a few years, and here I am living in the sunniest part of the planet in Western Australia after a long time, and probably quite a few changes along the way.
Wow! I've just got to tell you before it whizzes off the top of the chat. Andrew Brooks says that he grew up in Doncaster and lost his front teeth in Armthorpe Sports Centre.
Yeah, so there we go. Anything? That's the same place. Yeah, Armthorpe was the swimming baths and squash courts. There was all there in one place. So, hello, Mr. Brooks.
And Duncan Kelman says that you're from the same village in the UK, which I guess is there, right?
Yeah.
Duncan Kelman, how spooky! Wow. Well, you're very welcome. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Duncan that I went to school with.
Oh my gosh. How amazing. We've had a few of those where like mothers have turned up to watch broadcasts and stuff, which is really cool. That's amazing. So when did you leave the UK?
2009 we emigrated, and that was kind of triggered by 2007. We used to live in a town called Tewkesbury, Gloucestershire.
Yep.
And 2007, both the River Avon and the River Severn burst their banks, and along with my house, flooded 800 other homes in one go. It was a pretty major event.
Wow. So
we lost everything we had.
Oh my goodness.
And while we were living in a caravan, which was the only option, we made, because we used to come to Busselton on holiday, and whilst we were there living in the caravan, we said to the kids, well, what should we do? Should we go and live in Australia? And it was a resounding yay.
Just stay in Busselton. Wow. And Busselton is Western Australia. Looks idyllic. I saw you sent me this. You might want to just try flipping your microphone up very slightly whilst I play this one, because it does keep dropping back, Suzanne. But yeah, this is, I mean, we have piers and stuff in the sea in the UK. Like, I'm not too far from Brighton. This is what you get in Busselton off the end of the pier, which is basically, I can say a humpback whale. I think there's actually two humpback whales.
It's a mum and calf.
Just incredible.
So the jetty is about 2 kilometres long, and
look at that.
It's looking right at us.
Is that common? I mean,
so the whales go past the bay every year. It's unusual to see them this close to the jetty, but it's not unheard of. And we get lots of dolphins and all sorts of marine life. We've even got a mermaid swims past occasionally.
Imagine that. Just incredible. Just incredible. What do you reckon if we had, what about our pond? Wow. Yeah, so sorry. So back to have I missed out a whole chunk of you with the kind of pre-move kind of thing, or did life really take off when you arrived in Australia?
So look, when we arrived in Australia, which was 2009, it presented me with an opportunity to make another change that obviously I've been struggling with for my entire existence. I don't think I need to spell out what that is, but let's just say I haven't always been called Suzanne.
Yes, understood. Okay, that must have been a huge. I can't possibly imagine actually what that must be like. And was that? It sounds like you went through just a huge change. Up sticks, move. Was that all the flood? I mean,
do you remember the Etch-a-Sketch?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the Etch-a-Sketch, with a life, like turn it upside down, shake it.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And then start again with a completely. We literally got off an aeroplane in Perth. with a suitcase each, and no job, no house, just it was a big thing.
Crikey! And in the UK, what had you been working as before?
I was in project management. The last job I was in before I left England was project management in the aerospace industry.
So pretty high powered. I was chatting to you and I was saying how brilliant the Deluge was. We've got a common Deluge experience, but by saying, it's great because there's no limit on the number of tracks you can run on the Deluge. When you run out of processor power, it just won't let you add another one. And you said, well, this is great, except if you're trying to build an aeroplane. And this kind of logic behind, it's brilliant, but we have to build it so it never stops. I could completely understand. I mean, I wouldn't fly a Deluge, let's put it like that, but it's great fun to make music on. Is that the kind of project management stuff that you were doing then at that kind of level?
Sometimes I wasn't supposed to, but sometimes I'd go and sit and have my lunch, salt and vinegar crisp sandwich in a Joint Strike Fighter cockpit.
My gosh. Wow.
There was one mocked up for the head displays and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, crikey. Okay, so we arrive in Australia, just settle in Busselton. You've obviously had a complete change of life at that point, which I can't imagine also what that must potentially do to the family situation as well, but it seems that's worked out very well.
So look, being completely open and honest about it wasn't a surprise. My children and my partner Jane of 30 odd years grew up with Suzanne. It was just that's something that was always there for them. I was very open and honest about that from day one.
Okay.
So it wasn't a big shock for them. Everybody else absolutely went wild, but yeah, for Jane and the kids, it was just normal for them. That was the way.
How fabulous!
Yeah.
How absolutely.
And we're still together. The kids are now moved to Perth. Will studying. Sarah Jane's qualified, just had a baby.
So your grandmother. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Mima, wow, how fantastic. That's brilliant.
So
inspirational. And I'm so pleased you've managed to change your life at that point to become a much more comfortable, in your own body kind of person, I think.
It's not the easiest thing to do. And especially living in a very rural part of Australia, which is an incredibly macho culture. I'm sure some of your listeners
and not being native to that area, I suppose that doesn't help, does it? Have people been
you've
generally
got to be here about 7 generations, they reckon, before you're considered local. So I'm not going to manage it, but yeah.
Wow. And now things have settled down. How long ago was that? Sorry, I know you did say.
So 2009 when we moved, and I transitioned probably 6 years ago or so.
Okay, wow. So there's been enough time for it to settle down a little bit. Are you generally accepted? Is it all settled down, or are you still facing prejudice? And
look, every now and again something happens, and I meet an idiot or somebody that just needs a bit of education. But on the whole, it's really not a problem.
Oh, fantastic!
Fantastic. Like I say, it can be really upsetting when you do get that, but yeah.
Wow. Well, if anyone in the chat has any questions or whatever, I think that's just an incredible story, and full marks to you. And if you've got any questions, Loullamae, at any time, you can just fire away at lovely Suzanne. Yeah. Let's talk about now then, and synths, and where did that come into the picture? Have you always been fanatical about synth music and so forth?
So probably in the late 80s, I was doing some event management and booking gigs and things like that, and I encountered a guy called Fred Wedlock. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was the oldest swinger in town.
Yes, I remember that.
And I worked with Fred. I booked a few gigs with Fred and eventually became friends. And I ended up helping him set up with his first sort of MIDI kit, if you like, with a Mac and eMagic, I think it was called then, or eMagic Logic.
Yep.
Going back a bit, and spent a couple of days working with him, getting him set up with that sort of stuff, and then sent him on his way. So at that point, I think I had a DX7, which I really, really regret selling. That's still back in England somewhere.
Wow.
Because of my lack of understanding of FN, it's probably still got the presets completely unedited.
Yeah, very well. I mean, yes.
I'll be completely honest, I just did not get it.
Failed Muso in the chat, who I think he's popped up earlier. Hello, if you're around there. He's the FM guru, FM fanatic, if you like. And there's a few people associated that can do that stuff, coding FM. It's crazy. I'm very much a case of find something roughly sounds close to what I want and randomly change things and hope it goes in the right direction. But I've seen people code that still. I say program those sounds, and they've got an idea in their head and they head towards it, and it's astonishing the way that goes. But
not me.
Yeah.
So I had the DX7. I had a couple of MIDI sound boxes that I could expand, and a Roland digital piano.
Right.
So, but then, you know, that work kind of took over, and I just lost the ability to. I was running some really, really major, large-scale projects. So when we got set up here and I started to get comfortable, I bought another digital piano and a theremin.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was the theremin that I think led to this sort of idea of Synths by the Sea, because everybody that came to the house, you know, visitors were like, "Oh my God, what's that?" You know, and they've never seen it. And they all wanted to have a go, and they all expressed this sort of fascination. So I decided that what I would do was I got some backing tracks for Christmas carols. And there's a big park in the centre of Busselton, big sort of grassy area.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go there at Christmas and introduce people to the theremin and play along with play some carols.
I mean, they are incredible. I think everyone in the chat probably knows, but the theremin is the thing which is kind of a proximity detector. So it's the Doctor Who, is it?
It's the only instrument in the world that you play without touching.
Ah, good point.
You don't. You just manipulate the two fields. You don't touch it.
I'm just trying to. I'm waving at Loullamae, kind of saying it's sort of like you kind of do. I mean, what a thing to start with as well.
It was that idea, I think, of sharing that enthusiasm and that incredible instrument, which is why I bought the Sub 37 CV, so that I can actually plug some CVs out of the theremin into the Moog and you know, control the timbres and that kind of thing. And I thought, wouldn't it be great? Because it created such a lot of interest. So many people are like, wow, I've never seen one, never heard of it. You know, wouldn't it be great to be able to share not just that, but some of these other incredible instruments that we've got?
Yeah, yeah.
With not just the synth community, and there are a few here, but more broadly across the whole of the southwest, if you like, where we are.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a real interest. I think when people see it. So one of the things I've got planned for Synths by the Sea is a sunset jam down by the jetty. You've seen the photos of the jetty, so we'll sit around the jetty.
Exactly.
There's heaps of PowerPoints, and we'll just have an open mic, sort of a modular jam session, you know, to go with because we get incredible sunsets here. We're right on the west coast.
Right. It just sounds perfect.
Synths by the Sea, a sunset jam, and then move across to one of the venues where we'll have somebody doing a performance.
Just epic. This is the website, which is kind of almost sort of placeholding what you want to do. You've got some lovely bits of kit as well. I don't want to just drool over the kit, but I mean, of all the
I haven't got the 2600. I ordered it, but they were in such short supply. That's the Korg full size 2600.
Oh yes, yeah. I rang up to get one of those, and I was too late. And I got the Behringer one that survived. I'm really happy with the Behringer one. I really am. I mean, it would have been lovely to get the other one, but it kind of was an easy guess out that they didn't make enough, to be honest. And I really, really like, the sound of the Behringer. 2600 has been my dream synth forever. Let me post a link for this.
It's what R2D2 was voiced by. I mean, that's all you need to know, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Do you need another reason?
I have recorded R2D2 and doing voiceovers, which was quite incredible, actually. The real R2D2. I got a picture of me holding the head. He was doing some. It was a bit like IVR, like voice response stuff, and it was for a telephone line that you'd call in, and you would go around different rooms over the phone by dialing numbers. and he would talk you through it. It was quite cool at the time. Nowadays, it would be something the equivalent of something like your GPS phone, car navigation system or something like that. But he's such a lovely guy. And that was my claim to fame. So I couldn't get the 2600, but I recorded the guy the voice bit for the other guy. C3PO is what I'm talking about, not the R2D2 guy. So anyway,
claim to fame. Look, I worked with Fred Wedlock, the oldest swinger in town. That was a long time ago, but sadly he's no longer with us. That's a bit.
Does he pass away? I didn't know. That's sad.
It was a couple of years after we moved. I stayed in touch. And I think what's really nice is his daughter has now picked up the mantle and is now making electronic music.
Good. Oh, that's very pleasing.
But it was nice because I set him on that journey with the Mac and Logic and.
Yeah, of course. Oh, that's fantastic.
Hello, Loullamae.
Right. Hello. Well, Loullamae is running the show, so we've split the quiz into two halves this week, and so our quizmaster Loullamae will now be running things. So if you're ready, I think you did watch a couple of other episodes that we've run. Loullamae runs basically the best quiz on the internet. You have to be a little bit telepathic to get the answers, because they do tend to be Loullamae centric. So they're kind of like they tend to involve things that Loullamae's done this week, or that kind of stuff. So kind of hard, but it's open to everyone in the chat, and we have had a few remarkable moments. Ty Unwin managed to get the names of the two friends who'd come around for cousins for a play date, Lily and Archie, which was very, very spooky. And she does it for charity as well, so if anyone would like to give anything for a wonderful charity, I'll tell you about that a bit afterwards, but she's been raising money for Great Ormond Street.
Unless you're Ty.
Unless you're Ty, who's already given some money.
Someone says that.
Oh, in the chat, unless you're Ty, yeah. So we'll talk about that in a sec. However, are you ready, Suzanne, for the best quiz?
I've been looking forward to this all week.
Okay, stand by. Where is the clever button that I need? This one. Okie doke. Are we ready? Question number 1.
Who did I have a sleepover with on Friday?
Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. I know it's not Archie and Lily.
This is true.
I'm going to go with Emily.
Oh, someone said Poppy.
Was that correct?
What?
That wasn't the correct answer, though, was it? No, Wagyu said Poppy, but no.
Not Emily.
Emily, no. Good guess by Wagyu, because he knows that there was a very, very good BFF called Poppy.
Yeah.
Jennifer Smith, no. Mary, no.
Who's Jennifer Smith?
Katie, good guess from Inky. You can have another go if you like, Suzanne.
Karen,
no.
Karen, no. Lily, no, it's not Lily.
It's
and is she the same age as you?
Yes.
Yes, she is.
Linda.
No.
No. Okay.
We'll give it a couple more moments. It's 2 syllables, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 syllables, if that helps.
Someone said Sarah. Oh, someone said Louise. Close. That's the mummy's name.
Yeah, her mummy's name is Louise.
Oh, Louise. Oh, now I know.
Yeah, so now you know that her mummy's name is Louise.
Yeah, it all falls into place.
We've got a Lucy. Emily.
That's her sister, Lucy.
Oh yeah, Lucy's her sister. That's that's very close. That's Wagyu. He always gets it right, I think, as well. So that's not quite there, Wagyu.
Leslie.
No.
No, I was going with more L's.
Lola. No, Keith in Watford, because we had one of those. Esme.
Oh, no. She's one of my friends, but no.
It begins with an E. I'll give you that.
It begins with an E.
And it's 2 syllables.
E.
We'll give it a couple of minutes. I don't know. Sky.
No, it doesn't begin with an E.
Shall we give up?
Okay.
Go with the next question.
Okay. But we need to say the answer.
What was the answer?
Someone.
Yes! In the nick of time, we'll give you that. Failed muso. It's Ella. Ella May failed muso. I said, but Ella is good. Ella May.
Yeah, that worked.
Brilliant. Well done, Rob.
Is that Rob? Failed
It
muso?
is.
Yeah.
It is
Well done,
indeed.
Rob.
And I always remember
By the way, your version of Model is way better than mine on a 150-year-old out-of-tune piano.
I did this as a live thing ages ago, and I thought I'll just bang it on as some backing music. But yeah,
That's what I was going for, right?
yeah, quite. Well done, Rob. Or I can never remember his new nickname, which is the Elton John album. Anyway, I'm sure he'll type it in chat in a minute. Right, number 2. Are we ready? Here we go with another one.
What is my biggest fear?
Losing Ellie the elephant.
Yes, but Regimental Sergeant Zippo, of course. I'm going to have to write that down and stick it on a big piece of paper behind here. Is Rob's nickname?
Someone
not
said
your biggest fear.
spiders. No, not spiders.
I can't remember the answer to this. Oh, yes, I can. Okay.
Someone said snakes. No.
No, on the right lines. They fly.
They fly, yeah, but not fly.
Wasps. Very good, Suzanne. Yes. Not werewolves, Will Joseph.
They can't fly.
No, but to be fair, he probably answered before that bit. Wasps by Callum as well, but unfortunately...
Everyone's saying wasps.
Whoa, too loud. My word. Blow my ears off. Yeah, wasps is correct, but Suzanne was indeed there first, so well done. Congratulations.
Yeah.
If you get another one, I think, did someone get 2
Inky
before?
said worms and then wasps.
Has somebody got 2 before as a guest in the quiz? Or
Someone's got like 6 or something.
only in the chat, though. I was thinking of the guest.
Someone's got 3. I
Did
think.
they? Oh,
I
okay.
think
Oh, you've
the
got a way
highest
to
is
go then,
3.
Suzanne. Right, let's have one more question for now, and then we'll go and talk about some synths again, all right? So, are you ready?
Okay.
So that one was correct. Well done, Suzanne. Okay.
What trophy did I win this week?
Oh, that's hard.
So was it sports day at school?
No.
Sports Day was cancelled. I mean, long story, but parents aren't allowed to go to Sports Day. It will be there, but it's not for about a week or 2. So it is music related for a change, actually, this one.
Ah, okay.
I just realised.
Best show in.
Best in show scods. Reading trophy. No, right line, Sonic
No.
Link.
But
Swimming. No, it's not sporting.
ballet. I don't do ballet
Good
anymore.
one, Jen.
Good
No,
grade
not
1 music.
close.
Very close. Very
Very,
close.
very close.
Best singing.
Oh.
Well, grade 2 music then.
It was a longevity award, but yeah, it is piano wagyu. So we'll give you the first half.
Piano, but not grade 1.
It's been playing piano for a certain amount of
grade
time.
2 before I say.
And Piero the Acid Clown says burping contest.
Grade 2.
Not a grade. It was really a long-term service award, wasn't it?
I'll
It was
take-
a number of you can say if you want.
3 years of playing piano.
3 years of playing piano. Very, very.
Oh, someone was close. They said 4
6 months,
years.
said Jen. Yeah, 4 years. Oh gosh, yes, no.
Next year.
Right. Thank you very much, Loullamae, for that. That was absolutely awesome. I've got my sound effects buttons going on. Right, let's go back and talk about synths again. And you were doing a lot of travelling around hotels, and I think you do a fair amount of travelling for work still, which is where we started talking about the deluge, or you were taking stuff into hotel rooms and trying to make music and stuff. So what are you trying to do there, and what are you using?
So up until the point you stopped me from buying a new, is it the Novation Circuits, the new one?
Yes, yeah,
I
we were
think the
chatting about what to buy.
conversation-
Yeah.
The conversation went something like, well, I'm going to get a Novation Circuits, and you said, no, don't do that, get a Deluge, because it'll be cheaper. You won't pay any import duties.
Import. Yeah, I don't want to diss the Novation Circuit because it is brilliant. And I wouldn't, they are absolutely brilliant things. But I think for your purpose, I think the Deluge was going to fit.
Honestly,
right?
the Deluge has just been fantastic. I was taking with me, when I leave and I go and stay in a hotel, I was taking with me a polyend tracker.
Okay.
Which is good. It's neat. I like the screen, the sample workflow, but the Deluge is just the next level. It's battery operated, so I don't need to plug in. I can literally sit in the hotel lounge and just sit there. It's just such a good creative tool. It's fantastic, and I'm really, really grateful that you pointed me at that. And
it's a pleasure. It's what got me into doing YouTube videos. Actually, I saw one. I think I told you I was having a similar conversation on Gearspace or something, or looking at groove boxes to try and get out of I was sort of stuck in a load up Logic, make a song with the same template kind of thing, and I was thinking maybe I could crack out of this and just make a song something differently, like I go and buy an old Korg Groovebox or something. And then I just saw this Deluge mentioned, and I'd never heard of it before. It was in the very early days, and then one popped up on eBay, and so I actually bought mine secondhand in the early days. It was really, really cool. And I got the same impression. It's written by someone, designed by someone who'd never really bought another groove box before, and they've done it the way they expect groove boxes to work, which is really clever. So things carry on.
It's just so different, It had a 707, and like I said, the tracker. All of these things were kind of that portable workflow. But the Deluge just knocks it out of the park. You can literally have something running in minutes. In fact, they did that thing, didn't they? Make a track in 12 minutes on your Deluge. Yeah,
exactly. And I think the first thing is, post us something within 2 hours of opening the box, and you've actually got something good going on already. An interesting point from Sasquatch in the chat saying, how does the trade deal with Australia affect synths? I mean, I have no idea, but it can only be a good thing, because I know we're paying reasonably high import duty on stuff like that. I mean, you can get it within a couple of days, and I think the import duty in the UK was about £100 on the Deluge. One of the good things about the Deluge is they're selling direct, so there's no markup, there's no dealer markup. Otherwise, it would have to be a kind of £1,500 unit, and as it is, I think it's about 800. I think I'd have to check. It's been a long time. Piero the Acid Clown is always on a mission to call to give us a new EMX groove box, but for some reason he doesn't like the Deluge, so he's forgiven for that. Will Joseph as well in the chat, thanks. He said I found the channel in the first place because of the Deluge, so that's really, really kind of you. So yeah, like I was saying, that's what got me into the YouTube videos. I just found this thing, and I thought, someone said, oh, is it any good? And I said, oh, I'll make you a video about it. And I did, and then I think the video's got like 10,000 views now. It's been up for a couple of years, and I've got to do new ones because the operating system has been upgraded substantially since those, although I mean, it's still valid. And then that's what got me to do that, and then I appeared on Sonic State and do that kind of stuff. And now we're sitting here on a Sunday having a chat, which is brilliant.
It's a Monday here.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention, guys in the chat, it's like 2:30 in the morning for you.
2:35, yeah.
Oh man. So, actually, is it New Zealand that's from? Am I making a huge mistake?
It's from New Zealand, yeah.
Yes, I'm making a gross English mistake and assuming they're the same place, which of course they're not. So I'm guessing a deal with Australia has zero effect on goods being shipped from New Zealand. I don't know. We'll have to see.
The thing is, it's so deep. There's still functions that I haven't even touched. I've had it, maybe 4 weeks now.
Yeah.
And it's just so deep. There's so many things in there that I haven't touched yet. The arranger mode just blows me away.
Yes.
It's just so creative, and it just lets you go without limits. You want to do that? Off you go. There you go.
Yeah. The arranger mode is the video I stopped. Basically, it came out when I did my last Deluge video, so I've always been meaning to do one. But effectively, you can play performances and record them into an arrangement, and then go in and start editing the arrangement and arrange that, if you like. So it's super clever. How are you finding the lack of screen? Because everyone who hasn't got one tends to go, oh, but it doesn't really have a screen. How are you finding the use of the buttons and stuff?
So that's the beauty of the polyend tracker. Has got this fantastic, I don't know if you've seen it, the sort of 4-inch OLED screen, which is just beautiful. But I haven't found it to be a hindrance on the. A couple of times I've lost when I wanted to turn on the arpeggiator in the Deluge. It's
right.
It's that kind of thing's not super intuitive. But once you've done it once or twice, it's there.
Yes. Yeah, you get muscle memory, and to be honest, the buttons on the screen are the screen, so you can pull up a waveform and it will show the waveform across the buttons.
Those RGB LCDs can display the waveform.
It's mad, isn't it? You can get whatever it is. What's the grid on it? 16 by 8. So you've got a 16 by 8 pixel screen, and you can still really accurately get the start and end points of a sample. It's utterly uncanny.
It is remarkable.
There's quite a few Deluge converts actually in the chat at the moment, possibly because of my original involvement with them as well. And also the NPCs look good. Anyway, we have a new guest as well, which is absolutely thanks to Suzanne. This is this beautiful gift that arrived for Loullamae. Are we allowed to say what he's called? That's not one of the questions, is it?
We've had it.
We've had
a question.
Okay, yeah. This is Whiskers. I'm popping back in the thing. So Suzanne very, very kindly sent over this beautiful possum called Whiskers, which Loullamae is treasuring. So we now have Whiskers and Ellie running the whole show. Whilst I'm at it, Loullamae has set up a TikTok called Elephant Quiz Time, which is the official TikTok channel of the best quiz on the internet. So if anyone does TikTok, of which I'm a new convert.
No capital letters.
No capital, all lowercase apparently. So that's cool. I think it might find it okay. You sure? I don't think there's another one with capitals, so we'll be all right. But if anyone does have TikTok, or if anyone has kids with TikTok, check out Elephant Quiz Time, which is kind of good. Back to the hotel room, Suzanne. So the Deluge has kind of kicked things into gear in terms of a brain, which is what you were looking for. But what are you actually? Are you passing the time? Are you making albums?
No, I'm not making albums. For me, it's a really great way to relax after a stressful day. I go back to the room or sit in the lounge, and it's just making music. Just absolutely. It's just incredible that it's so easy to do. Oh, don't do that, Loullamae. You'll set me off.
Look at those. We just won't be able to hear you. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, no. So I can literally take it, and because it's battery operated, it's just so flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't need anything else, but even as a brain, because it's got CV outs. I mean, we can't turn this into a complete Deluge kind of free for all, but it really does handle, modular stuff with the CVs or as a brain to control.
It plays nicely with all the gear here. I had to change the MIDI splitter box that I was using. I was using a Quadra, which it didn't play nicely with. So I bought a Kenton MIDI box.
Nice.
12, and it just works.
Brilliant.
It was dropping notes through the other, if I was trying to sequence something.
Oh, yes. It's interesting, that, isn't it? If you're making a MIDI merge or a MIDI through box like that, some of them do. I don't know. MIDI is just MIDI. It's a standard format. It shouldn't be dropping.
With an arpeggio or something, if it was sending from the Deluge, it wouldn't make it to where it was going. It was really interesting.
Wow. But the Kentons, Kenton have been around for years, literally years. They were first on the market. I have an SH101 here with a Kenton MIDI fit in it from literally years and years ago. It's massive inside as well. So what's your favourite synth? I'm going to guess the Voyager.
The Voyager, yeah, absolutely. It's not. I'm looking at it there. It's not just an amazing sound, but it's such a beautiful thing as well. It invites you to interact with it and engage with it in a way. I've got a Waldorf Quantum there, and
oh, really? Wow.
That's the one you can see here.
Ah, gotcha. Pointing at the screen. No, I can see it. I do the same. It's over there.
Over there. No, there.
That's a Quantum, right? I've always wanted to try those. Wow.
It's a bit glitchy occasionally.
Right.
I had one or two sort of glitchy things, but the Voyager just invites you to interact and grab a big handful of everything in it. And it's just also an incredibly well-made piece of furniture as well.
Yeah.
You've got the XY pad on it, the ribbon controller, long before Hydrosynth and all those other people started putting them on. I just love the Voyager. Really good.
Have you been tempted to get another mortgage and invest in a Moog One, or is there? What's better to ask what your list is really for So
I keep reading about it. For me here to buy the 16 voice, I think is about $14,000.
Right. Wow.
And I keep reading that there's still issues with it, with tuning and one or two. And
Yes.
I just don't know if I can justify that kind of money for something that's still a bit glitchy.
It's a shame, isn't it? I mean, we may be doing them a disservice as well, but I hear the same. You know, I do hear the same. I mean, there are beautiful looking things. I've never played one. I'd love to, but it's a lot of money, isn't it? I mean, it really is. You almost expect someone to turn it up every week and clean it for you and check it's all working for that as part of the care package, you know.
And that's part of living where I live. None of these instruments have I been able to try before I buy. You know, I rely on Sonic State and all the other videos and reviews because I don't have the luxury of a shop that I can just go to.
Yeah, of course.
Quantum. It all has to come. So you have to do a lot.
It's funny, isn't it? Yeah, 10 years ago, the idea of spending that kind of money on something you wouldn't try was completely like ridiculous, and now people do it. You know, also like judging sounds on YouTube originally used to be like, well, you can't really do that. You got to hear it, but it's the reality for a lot of people. And that's hence why I think, you know, YouTube and that kind of stuff and people like Nick on Sonic State are so important to the industry. And I do think kind of objective reviews are so valuable, you know. I mean, I know, for example, Nick on Sonic State will be objectively reviewing stuff, and he does say if something's bad, and he does say if something's good, and he does recommend, you know, it might be better if it did this. And there are some other channels where it may be paid or it may not be, but they're a little bit kind of sucky up to the manufacturers, and you're like thinking it's hard. I get it. If you rely on the manufacturers to feed you kit for your channel, it's kind of hard to turn around and say, actually, I really hated this one. But you do need that objectivity, right? And you know, I mean, who are the people on YouTube that you're following? You rate?
I love Loupop. I watch all of Loupop's videos. Nick, you know, everything he does. I watched, you know, Jane and I set up last night and watched the track review he did with Gaz. You know how
yes,
you know, which was half an hour of really, really interesting chat using the. You know, that Nick talks about his sub 37, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So Loupop and Nick mainly. Every now and again, I might watch Bo Beats, but I sometimes think that perhaps he's not as objective as Nick or Loop. Yeah. You know, I've heard Nick say somebody sent him something, and he sent it back and said, "No, I'm not going to do it because it's too bad."
I've had the same thing. Yeah, which I think is a very nice way out of the whole situation where you know, you'll say, do you know, I don't really want to review this now because it's not going to come out well. I'll happily review it, you know, version 2 or version 3 down the line if you're comfortable with it. And I will review it if you'd like, but it's probably not in anyone's interest that this goes out at the moment, which is, you know, honest and very appropriate. No, I think Loupop's a magic, and Red Means Recording, I think, is a good one.
So I'm trying to think of the guy's name. He got very animated about the Behringer thing, and he was following up with Behringer to make sure they sent out these synths that they were going to send out to schools for. But I just can't remember. Oh
right, maybe someone in the chat can remember. This is another.
Probably because it's 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was very passionate, and I think he locked horns with Behringer and said, "Okay, so you said you were going to send out this many synths to schools."
It sounds like the Jamie Oliver of the synth world.
And they didn't, and so he was keeping them honest, but I can't remember for the life of me.
Oh, maybe someone can pick it up.
Plays a lot of guitar as well as synths.
Ben Jordan.
Yeah, I think that's it. Ben and Gear.
Ben and Gear. Okay, yeah, Ben Jordan. Thanks very much. And Starsky Carr's been mentioned. But yeah, Ben Jordan. I'll check him out. Actually, not sure I've checked that out before. But
yeah, no, really interesting.
Cool. No, it is good, and I do think it's if you're going to do a paid review, as you know, big box at the beginning saying, you know, this is paid, and you know, it's a massive difference because it's great if you get free gear, and it's great if you can afford to buy all this stuff. But when you're going to make one purchase a year and it's going to cost an absolute fortune to you, you can't be fooled by influencers online saying that it's good when actually they didn't really think it was that good, or they didn't tell you the warts and all version. Anyway, that's it. Carry on.
And I love Gaz. You know, I just can't get past Gaz because
he's brilliant.
Gaz is so authentic and visceral. You know, when he does his shows, it's just warts and all. And I really like that. It's just, I'm going to make a noise.
We had this thing. There was a Sonic State episode quite recently where it turned out that I'd been involved in buying a nuclear bunker in the UK. It's a long story.
I remember it.
Right. And Gaz said, "Oh, was that the one in Ash? Yeah, well, I was going to buy that." So that was coincidence number one. And then 3 days later, he sent me a text and he said, my neighbour, I was just chatting to my neighbour about our conversation about nuclear bunkers. And he said, "Oh, yeah, I know Dominic. I used to work with his mum, Helen." It was just like, what? So literally, the guy that lives opposite Gaz used to work with my mum. So we're just waiting for the third kind of amazing coincidence to occur. But yeah,
it's
fully
incredible.
agree. Yeah.
It's a very small world.
I fully agree, though. Gaz is a one-off, real amazing person. It's probably worth mentioning that what you were talking on, this Sonic album is out, Sonic State 001. Amazing project. It's been kind of in the works for a little while. It's on Bandcamp, sonicstate.bandcamp.com. And I don't know if I did a banner for this. There it is. What I'll do is after this show, I'll put the proper links up. I mean, you needn't actually type that in. If you just search Sonic 001 or Sonic State on Bandcamp, it'll pop up. But this is a load of the contributors to Sonic State have all done tunes, myself included. I did a very poppy kind of Pet Shop Boys-esque tune on there without hearing anybody else's music. So the result is this kind of amazing, weird and eclectic mix of kind of pretty amazing stuff, to be honest. And there are, myself excluded, there are some corking tracks on there. Ty's done an amazing sounding song, completely. Yeah, it's completely with free plugins. Because he said that, I'm always using these expensive synths and everyone laughs at me when I always, "Oh yeah, I've got one of those. Oh yeah, I've got one of those." So he'd made it entirely with free plugins. Yoads is like a masterclass in audio engineering. I'm pretty sure there's no one better in the mix engineer. Mix engineer is probably the wrong word to use, but sonic space of mixing than Yoad at the moment. I mean, it's just incredible. It just shows you how good he is. And Gaz is on there, Nick's is beautiful, loads of stuff. And it's so eclectic because no one really knew what anyone else was actually doing. So we all just submitted these tunes and they're up there. So please do check it out. It's a great thing. You can hear it on Bandcamp. And if you look up Sonic State on Facebook or on their website, there's all the details on there about it. And it's brilliant, actually. It's a really, really, really worth a listen. And I think it's probably time. Time is flying by. I'm loving talking to you, Suzanne. Thanks so much for taking the time out and spending the middle of your night just kind of...
And we haven't even covered the getting hit by a bus yet.
No. Let's have a couple more quiz questions and then you can hit us with the bus... the bus episode.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit with a bus, I can assure you. It really hurts.
As I said that, I was thinking, okay, right, here we go then. Okay.
What is Whisker's favourite colour?
This is Whiskers the possum.
So Whiskers is a possum, and Whiskers, possums here live in our garden in what we call a peppy tree.
Oh.
And so I'm going to say that if Whiskers is a proper possum, he probably really likes green.
Same as Inky's in the chat. Violet.
No, not
Close.
green.
It's not green. I actually don't know the answer to this.
Oh, someone got it.
Yep.
Oh, and another person got it because there's two colours.
What's the answer, sweetie? Pink or purple?
And someone said pink, and then someone says dark purple.
Will Joseph got in there first with pink, I think. Where are you? There you go. And we have a purple?
Go up.
A deep purple from Wagyu. He's in there again. So congratulations, Will Joseph. Congratulations to Wagyu as well with your deep purple. That's fantastic. I guess, yeah.
I was being too logical.
Yeah.
It was way too logical. Don't forget, we don't really know where possums live. So you're a bit too logical on that one, I think. Okay, next question. Here we go.
What is Whisker's favourite food?
I'm not going to say peppy leaves because that's what they...
No, I strongly advise you not to do that.
Oh, someone said I got purple too.
Oh, Cresshead. I'm so sorry to interrupt, Suzanne. Thank you, Cresshead, for that. Sorry to miss you in the chat. Go ahead.
Sausage and chips.
Sausage and chips. I don't think that's true. What's the answer? Oh, this is a really good one. This is a really good one.
It's what Ellie eats as well.
Ellie likes these as well, yes.
M&M's.
It's not a typical food stuff. Muffins, cheese crackers, Smarties, Toad in the Hole. No. Think about 9-year-old girls and unicorns and...
Glitter.
Yes, well done. Incredible. Two up for Suzanne. That is incredible. Not Maltesers, not Euro.
If she gets one more, she'll be in the lead.
She would indeed. Right, one more. Crikey. Okay, let's have no pressure. But yes, you're right. If you do get one more, Suzanne, you will be in the lead.
You need to show a picture of this.
I didn't get one. Is there another question?
Yeah. We'll do that next week.
Yeah, okay. We'll have a rollover question for next week. Okay, so we got another question lined up. Sasquatch got glitter, but we'd already said it.
What is Whisker's favourite animal?
Oh.
Well, I think Whisker spends quite a lot of time with Ellie, so I think they might be best friends. So I'm going to say elephant.
Logical, but wrong. And
Yeah,
Wagger's
sorry.
got elephants as well. There is another logical answer.
It's eluding me.
Okay. It's not elephants. It's not mice. It's not kangaroos.
Not cats.
Cats. Oh, I'm
Dolphin?
very surprised. Really surprised,
I
actually.
thought they would get that straight
Yeah.
away. Unicorn.
A Loullamae, no.
A koala.
No, you said that just as Inky did.
Loullamae.
Have we got another question though after this?
Yeah.
Because I think Suzanne does deserve a chance to
Got
come
three.
top.
We've got
Okay.
three.
Sure, we'll have to do a boo on that one. What's the answer?
Possum.
It's a possum.
Someone said scorpion.
Scorpions, crocodiles, duck-billed platypus, and wombats.
Okay.
A blue whale.
This
All right.
one's a good one.
Let's make this the last question then, okay? Because we're going to hit.
Okay.
So here we go
There's
then.
two really good ones.
All right, if it's quick, let's see what we can do.
How many whiskers does Whiskers have?
That is a good one.
And
That
then
is a
the
good
pink
one.
as well.
You see, I packed him when I sent him, so I
You mean you didn't count?
No, I'm going to say probably 8 either side, 16.
Ooh.
I don't know the answer to this either.
Someone got it.
Oh, who did?
Wagyu. Wagyu.
What's Wagyu got it? Where's Wagyu's answer?
12.
It's whizzing off up the screen.
He's
I
up.
think it was 12.
Go up.
Go up,
There's
Wagyu.
Wagyu.
My word, they're coming in thick and strong. Well done, Wagyu. Once again. Wow, that was super fast. All right, so we'll give you one more chance. Well done, Wagyu. Congratulations.
This one's a hard one.
Oh, well, the others were easy,
Because
were
the others
they?
have been really easy.
This is the really hard
Oh,
one.
well.
This one's
Okay.
really the hard one.
All right.
Okay. How long
Oh.
is my hair?
Oh, my God. You don't have to... Okay, how long is your hair? And just to be accurate here, we did
Is
have...
that from fringe to ends?
This is from that central bit to out here. What's that bit called? This bit along here from the crown, is
The
it?
parting.
The parting.
I'm going to say
Someone
40 centimetres.
I wrote the answer down.
that one out.
I think that's close enough,
Nearly.
isn't it? 41 centimetres. I think you can have that.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Suzanne gets she is now in the lead with 3 right after 8 shows. Fantastic! Congratulations!
It's almost as good as being on the leaderboard at top here.
Yes, Wagyu, I am very experienced in hair terminology. Awesome. Tell us about the bus.
So the bus, when we first arrived in Australia, I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and job-wise, and I took on a job working for the West Australian, which is the sort of state newspaper, and it was about the time when in Carnarvon, which is a long way up north from here, everywhere's a long way, there was a big radio telescope which was used during the Apollo landings.
Right.
And Buzz Aldrin was invited to open it. Which he agreed to do for a massive fee. Wow. And so the newspaper gave me a chunk of cash and said, get yourself up there and take some photos, which was just fantastic for me. I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. So there I am. It was sunset, this enormous radio telescope dish. Buzz Aldrin, second man to walk on the moon. I'm there. I've got this fantastic shot framed. But there was a lot of stuff happening. There was a news broadcast, a live news broadcast off to one side, and a bus bringing in dignitaries. And the bus driver was so captivated by this sort of mesmerizing scene in front of him that he was watching that. And the wing mirror on the bus actually, just before I clicked the shutter, caught me behind the back of my head and took me clean off my feet. Jeez. I did not know what had hit me. Because I'm deaf, I didn't hear him coming. Right. So I'm stood there trying to take this shot of a lifetime of Buzz Aldrin and this dish, and was taken completely off my feet by a bus, which was a bit of a shock.
And what happened? Knocked you out, I'm guessing.
I was out for a while, but this is Australia, right? So it's very much the have a beer, you'll be fine.
All right, mate. Yeah.
It's a very macho environment. You just sit there, have a beer, you'll be all right, and press on and finish off the shoot. And that's exactly what we did.
Really?
Somebody else picked up my camera in the interim moments and took some photographs of the scene. And then they came and saw me. So, by the way, there's a few shots on there for insurance purposes if you need. We weren't sure if you were going to get up.
That is. And literally, you just carried on. There was no hospital. Did you get checked out?
I got checked out when I got home. Yeah.
It was a bit of so bad.
Crack on, mate. Strange situation. But that was like, have a beer. There you go. You'll be fine.
Good Lord. Wow. Well, I think we should get you on again, actually, because there's so much more that we've kind of mentioned briefly outside of the whole thing than that we've discussed. So I'd love you to come back on, maybe as a third guest or something, where we can chat about stuff. But in terms of the Synths by the Sea, which is the real kind of drive here, what can we do to help? What can people do to kind of support that and get that to fruition, if you like?
Look, yourself, a lot of this stuff is all about the publicity, right? And it's sharing that message. In Australia, we don't have a Knobcom or a Synth Fest or a Super Booth or any of that stuff. And what I want to try and do is build as much interest in this event as I can, because it will be a unique event. I know the first one is not going to be, it's not going to be very big. I accepted that. But it's about sharing that message and building that interest. And I'm really grateful to have had this opportunity. So thanks very much indeed. I really am.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. We'll share the link again to the Synths by the Sea website. And can we sign up there to get on a mailing list or something?
I think I can add a subscription thing. I left it alone because COVID kicked in when around about the same time. And I just, I'd started to get permission from local venues, and I'd made some outline inquiries with the local council about getting permission to use some of these venues. And it's just all had to shut down because, having said that, I think it was today announced by the WA government that we're back to normal now. We can have.
Oh, really? Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's time to move up a gear.
Well, I think let's just say if there's anyone around that can help, particularly people in Western Australia, particularly people in Busselton if they're there, but you know most of them. But anyone, if anyone wants to get involved, obviously the link's there. Get in touch with me or whatever, and we'll just push this every few weeks or so just to see if there's anyone's interested in trying to get this. Because to be honest, a trip over to Western Australia to play synths for everyone involved at this end, that would be quite cool, wouldn't it? I'd love that. And you just get loads of people over there.
It's such a spectacular place.
Just sounds brilliant.
So beautiful, and like I say, it's just it needs to happen, and it's not just for us in the synth community, but for all of those people that will enjoy it and see it, and we can share with. I think that's the important thing. Awesome.
Okay, well, you can always leave a comment underneath this video. As soon as we hit stop, it kind of crunches away and we lose the live chat, but it does come back after about an hour, and then it goes to kind of watch on demand chat as well, so it'll all still be there and we'll see them. Just a little big up for Loullamae's charity, which is Great Ormond Street Hospital, and she has been making Loullamae's wonderful let me show you. There you go. Can you see that? Let's just put you there. Orby stress ball kits, which still aren't completely launched yet, but she's doing it in conjunction with her school as well, and they basically, inside there is a kit to make one of there you go, you can do it, one of those. Let me put you in full screen. There you go. And so you can remove all your stress with a balloon full of squeezy Orbeez and donate money to Great Ormond Street at the same time. I'll put the link to the Great Ormond Street show, the Great Ormond Street Just Giving, isn't it? Below the screen after.
I've got no idea, Keith, in Watford, what number bus it was, by the way.
I pushed the wrong button. Here we go. I'm back. Ooh, done really well so far.
I've been fiddling through this.
There we go. Hopefully you can still hear me and I didn't disappear too fast. Are you still there, Suzanne?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Ah, good. Yeah, I pushed the wrong button, disappeared, came back in again.
I've been fiddling with this the whole way through.
And it hasn't popped or anything. So, like I say, we'll put the Great Ormond Street link in afterwards. Thank you very, very, very much indeed to Suzanne, our special guest. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and a real eye-opener. And like I say, let's carry on talking another time. It's been absolutely brilliant. And I'd love to talk to you again later this year, if that's all right. It'd be really wonderful to do. Thanks to everyone. Oh, no problem at all. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well for watching, and for anyone watching in future. Big thanks to my co-host Loullamae. Thank you very much. Hello. And thanks again literally to everyone. So if I can appear briefly on this screen, all that's left to be said is I wish you all a very good week. See you here next Sunday if you fancy watching another one of these. And if anyone wants to be on the show, that's in the chat. This is not about superstar DJs and superstar synth producers. This is about real people with interesting stories and stuff, really. You don't even have to talk about synths, to be honest, but we'll just mention it a little bit. We'll talk about something else. So just leave me a comment. Go to mrwiggly.co.uk. I keep wanting to persuade people like Inky and Azio Head to come on. So if you badger them. But yeah, till this time next week, let's just say goodbye. Cheers, and thank you very much indeed for watching.
Thank you.
Yes, sleep well. Cheers.
Good night.
Bye.
Connect so with the herb mic, link up the harmonize, bless the termite. But beyond obsolete blessings, a birthright. We live a life which a lot for me, no short worldwide. Cosmic love energy, I go herbicide free, organically, me say worthwhile. Watch the way one of you take term points in terms of definitions and some termites. Yes, I check the eye. One side is defined by one side the other. I am an idea's man, I start to buzz up the